Good morning, Lumberjacks! Live from Sequoia Middle School. We have breaking news. And now here's your host, coming to you live from the office, Mr. Perez. Good morning, Lumberjacks. Welcome to the second edition of Breaking News, where we go in depth with issues affecting our campus and happening live here in Lumberjack land. Today's report is going to be focusing on a few things that are going on our campus. One, we have a special report of some students who are choosing to be involved in something positive on campus and off campus here in our community. We also have a question and answer session where you, the student, have some questions for Mr. Perez about how to be a better student here on campus and how to be successful here in Lumberjack land. So I'm going to be answering a few of your questions here. We also might even have a special phone call from a person who's very concerned about an issue that we're having with IDs later on. We're also going to make sure that we follow up on some students who've been nominated because they were caught following a guideline for success. Well, let's not waste any more time. We have a special report, and we're going to take you out to the hills of Chowchilla. I just like that word, Chowchilla. Chowchilla. We're going to go to Chowchilla, where our outdoor club is choosing to be a part of something positive, to be involved in something positive on our campus, but also out in the valley. So let me take you live out to Chowchilla. Enjoy. All right, it's Mr. Perez here on the road with my outdoor club here at Sequoia Middle School because they are choosing to be a part of something positive. Go ahead and turn the camera around. Show who's here this morning.
Wendy, Gael, Cindy, some two girls in the back, and myself.
That's enough. All right. So at Sequoia Middle School, we choose to be a part of something positive every single day. And one of those things that you can choose to be a part of that's positive is the outdoor club. So this morning we got up really early. We got all of our gear on. We got our hats ready to go. It's going to be sunny today. We got our sunglasses on. We're heading out to the middle of the Central Valley along the mountains here. We're going to be heading to Eastman Lake to do some lake cleanup and also maybe a little bit of fishing. But more importantly, it's to get out of Southeast Fresno a little bit and see nature. Go ahead and take a shot of nature right now. Look up at the mountains.
That's so beautiful. Beautiful.
So if you can see those mountains out here on the hills near Chowchilla, California, it's a little bit different than what it looks like near Cedar and Hamilton. And the only way you really get to experience things like that, one of the ways actually, is by being a part of something positive like the outdoor club. So I want to encourage you all to do some good things here at Sequoia Middle School, not just the outdoors club, but the sports, the other clubs you have, Pinterest, Zombie Club, Yu-Gi-Oh Club. Do some things that you're not used to doing before in your life, so you can experience some of the richness that we have here in the valley, and you can really enjoy your experience here at Sequoia Middle School. Hey, we'll come back maybe a little bit later. Let's see if we can catch some fish. Let's see if you can see us cleaning up the lake a little bit, because we're choosing to be a part of something positive here at Sequoia Middle School. This is Mr. Perez saying peace!
Peace.
Everyone turn around and say Outdoor Club. Wave hi.
Outdoor Club! Where are my jumpers?
Say hi. 1, 2, 3, jump in the air. Oh, 1, 2, 3, jump in the air. All right, I'm done taking your picture. I'm done. Psych, I'm not even taking a picture, I'm taking a video.
Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed the Outdoor Club's trip to Eastman Lake, where they were choosing to be involved in something positive. That was just absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Our next segment is called Ask Mr. Perez, where you have an opportunity to ask me questions about our campus and about what's going on here in Lumberjack Land. So right here, I have a couple of your questions, and I'm going to answer them live and give you some answers so that you can be successful and get these questions answered here at Sequoia. Now, our first question is a little bit more of a serious question. It says, Dear Mr. Perez, Dear Mr. Perez, why are you so bald? You know why I'm so bald? My name's Mr. Perez, and I got a bald head. That's what I think about that question. A student asked, Dear Mr. Perez, what is CHAMPS? I see CHAMPS posters in my classroom. What does CHAMPS stand for? And that's a very good question. Most of your teachers here at Sequoia Middle School use a classroom management plan that involves the acronym CHAMPS. And each letter of CHAMPS stands for a specific way to be successful in the classroom. So for instance, the C in CHAMPS is for conversation level. And conversation level has to do with the volume that you use to speak within the classroom. This H in CHAMPS stands for help. How can I get my teacher's help or attention, or if I need to answer a question within that classroom? For some teachers, the way that you ask for help is by raising your hand. For some teachers, it may be writing a question or asking for help through a note and posting it in a parking lot where they will answer your question later on in the lesson. The A in CHAMPS is for activity. The activity is what should you be doing in class, and it's basically how you're going to be learning today. The M in CHAMPS is for movement. So, am I allowed to move around the classroom at this point for this activity? Am I able to get out of my seat? Am I able to sharpen my pencil? Or, for movement, am I only allowed to sit in my chair and move my pencil at this time? Some students get the idea that they can just move around the classroom like they move around their house. Unfortunately, in order to maintain a successful learning environment, there are times where you'll have to sit in a desk. But there may be other times when you're doing group work or moving around during blended learning, or maybe moving to a computer station where you'll be allowed to get out of your seat. So the M in CHAMPS is for movement. The P in CHAMPS is for participation. So what does an active participant in that class look like? So for P, your expectation from your teacher may be that an active participant makes eye contact with the speaker, or that an active participant in the class is completing the assignment or sharing with their group, or working on the project, or completing the experiment in a science class. And the S in CHAMPS is for success. By following this framework of CHAMPS within your classroom, you should have a great experience during that lesson. So if you look around your classroom and you don't know what you expected of you as far as behavior, ask your teacher what is CHAMPS, and also how can you be successful at following CHAMPS and meeting those expectations in that classroom so you can be successful. I hope that answers your question for what is CHAMPS. But more importantly, why do we have CHAMPS? CHAMPS is a way for your teacher to manage up to 37 students, and I know Miss Tappy is listening right now, maybe in the band class, close to 50 students, or in PE 50 students. It's a way to manage behavior so that you can learn the maximum amount possible without there being so many classroom disruptions and problems that lead to your teacher focusing on that student who is not following those expectations, and so that other people in the class know what to expect. There's nothing worse than going to someone's house or to a party and not knowing what their expectations are. Last week, Mr. Ward explained that at some of his friends' house, one of their expectations is that they take their shoes off when they go into their house so they don't step on their carpet. Well, same thing with the classroom. Each classroom has their own individual set of rules or norms or expectations. And we want to make sure that those expectations are very clear for you here in Lumberjack Land. So that's one reason why we have CHAMPS. Stay tuned to find out if you were caught following a guideline for success this week. Now, to conclude today's message, this last segment, we're going to continue with our caught following a guideline for success. So remember, teachers can nominate students, students can nominate teachers, and students can also nominate other students who've been following or exemplify our guideline for success. Our first nominee was nominated by Mr. Ordunez. He nominated Kiernan Bird for choosing to be a better person every day. He says that Kiernan decided to come to him with some information of some students who were not being very safe on campus. And because of Kiernan's swift action and sharing with an adult on campus, we were able to prevent these students from hurting each other and making sure that we keep our campus a safe place. Because of that, Mr. Kiernan Bird, you are caught following a guideline for success. So I'll be kind of coming by your classroom at some point today to make sure that we recognize that you were caught following a guideline for success and that you were nominated by one of your teachers. Great job, Mr. Kiernan Bird. We had another nomination this week. Man, we just have some great students here at Sequoia. Mrs. Braswell nominated a student named Quiana Baker. Now, Miss Quiana Baker chose to be a better person here at Sequoia. And what she does is, Mrs. Braswell says that at the end of her fourth period class, every day, she stays a little bit later in between the passing period to straighten up her novels and notebooks for the class. And that she does it just out of the kindness of her heart, out of respect for Mrs. Braswell's class. She doesn't ask for anything in return. But today, Miss Quiana Baker, we want to make sure that we give you something in return. We want to recognize you for being caught following a guideline for success. Thank you, Quiana Baker. Well, that concludes today's message here in Lumberjack Land. I hope you had a great day as we listen to how to be more successful here at Sequoia Middle School on Sequoia Breaking News. I hope to see you around Lumberjack Land. Have a great rest of the week. Peace. Go Lumberjacks.